All right, man. It's another pleasure and honor to have some great conversations. We here live and direct, man. This guy I've been seeing around the city, been seeing elevating throughout the years, and it's just a pleasure to have this conversation. We were supposed to have it years ago, but ain't no time but the present, man. Hugh Augustine, Hugh the MC. What's the good word, bro?
How you doing, man? This is my first interview with Chuck Dizzle, you feel me?
Yo.
I'm honored. I've been trying to get this for a long time since you was in Inglewood with it.
Oh, wow.
So, you feel me? I feel like the time is right. We got the right presentation. We got the right music. Everything is right to have the conversation right now. You feel me?
It's that Mogul talk, bitch.
Yeah,
Yo, man.
talk.
Yo, talk to me about this because, I mean, as you said, you've been trying to get on for a while, right?
Yeah.
You know, your journey starts in, I want to say, 2010, 2009. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's talk about the early days of Hugh, man, because a lot of people, they may see the face, they kind of may have an idea. Some folks are more familiar, but break down who you are, where you hail from, and we'll start off from there because I think that's the more important thing to people kind of understand, you know, where you are from.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in Leimert Park. I grew up in Baldwin Hills. I've been making music my entire life. You know, I first started putting music out on MySpace.
Crazy.
Like when I was fucking 14, you know? So I've been really making music, recording myself for a long time, you feel me? And then I grew up in the Bananas, Leimert Park cypher scene. So that's really where I like hone my craft, as well as the Poetry Lounge on Fairfax. Like that's where I first started going and like actually spitting somewhere in public and like doing spoken word and poetry.
Those times, was it a nervous thing for you? Like talk about those first times, because there's one thing to be interested in doing poetry or music and writing the raps down. There's another thing to record yourself, but then performing in front of an audience, man. Talk about those transitions from yourself, like gaining that confidence and the first time you decide to step up and say, okay, I'm ready, or what, did somebody push you and encourage you to do it? Like, what was that like?
Well, I came from like writing in my room and just like having notebooks of like raps. So when I first like started performing in front of people, it was really like uncomfortable and unnatural for me because I was like more somebody that made music and wrote raps as like a way of just like really expressing my emotions and like something that I needed as an outlet, you know?
Right.
So when it actually became time to like see myself as like an artist and as like a performer, it took like getting into a small spots like that, like the Poetry Lounge and Bananas, and like performing in front of 5 people and then 10 people,
to gain that confidence,
to get that confidence and comfortability of even just like saying my shit out loud and in front of people who like don't know me or don't know me for that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Okay, so you said you did music for yourself, not music, excuse me, poetry, that, you know, expressing yourself for yourself, right?
Right.
At what point did it become like, okay, I want to start using this artistic thing that I got here to utilize it as a tool for other people, like things that you were talking about? Obviously, it resonates with other people. You know
my friend from middle school, Bo, he was making beats in middle school already, but by the time we got to high school, his beats got really good. So then that's when we started actually putting shit out and like wanting to like share with like a community.
Yeah. And
at that time, that was like Fairfax was starting to bubble. I was like one of those kids that was catching the bus to Fairfax and hanging out over there. So we were starting to have like a scene, and us younger guys in that scene, we got to be around a lot of stuff that was going on. Like Flylo was starting to come out, and like people were doing small listening parties at Turntable Labs. So that was like my exposure to like something bigger than just like making music in the closet and like recording in the bathroom, you know?
Yeah.
So then once I started to see like that world was so close to me, and I was like actually hanging out in it, to what ends up now like looking back becoming like the big like wave out of LA music, and being somebody like who's a part of that scene, it was just like I always wanted to like go and like be recognized as like a peer from those people that I was going to see at these like small intimate shows, or like people that I was in the know of, you know?
At that time, just for context, who were the people that you were looking at? Like when you're walking
that
in
was
there,
around?
Yeah.
I mean, Dom Kennedy, Pac Div, Tyler was always around, Casey Veggies, Blue.
And I think people don't understand like the scene at the time, right? And I feel like LA has different waves. And to be a part of
this
that,
is like, we're talking like 09. 2008 even.
Right.
You know, 2007 even.
So what is it like to be a part of that, right? To kind of witness the rise of what, you know, that era, right?
Yeah.
And then some people becoming megastars, or just, you know what I'm saying, like transitioning from
it's dope.
not just your local heroes to, you know, people that, you know, be on TV and things of that nature, man. What did that do for you, somebody that's coming up as a peer? And it's like, what did that do for your confidence? What did that do for the hunger and the drive of you becoming now, you know, an MC?
It's dope to be like an ambassador to like your culture when you go other places, because I've been like traveling a lot too, and touring a lot. So to have people that I know be the ones to become the mega stars for like our niche culture, and then I'm somebody who's also an ambassador, that it's dope, because I'm not like the first person to try to kick the door in on that. Even though I've been like kicking the door in on the industry, I'm not the first person to like wear like SBs and like be interested in like streetwear and fashion and like graffiti and, you know, like what our niche LA scene is, which is kind of like a little bit more alternative skate culture, and like, you know, it's more rooted in that than like the typical LA scene of what we know of like the gangster rap and like street culture, you know?
Yeah.
So it's cool to be somebody who's a part of that culture, but not the first one, because now I can be like a little bit more innovative about it and kind of like do it my own way.
And I think that's interesting too, because, you know, you're able to kind of witness what people do, right? And either learn from their mistakes and make things better and evolve, like you said, be innovative and kind of come up with your own way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? I want to get into this Mogul talk too, man. I mean, we're gonna fast forward back to the present, because I was telling you, man, you allowed me to listen to it early.
Yeah, you're the only person actually that, besides Kev, that mastered it. You're the only person that's got the like.
Bro, when I tell you
the advance.
I mean, so do we have a date as of right now when it's gonna come out?
We do have a date.
Okay.
We do have a date. So Mogul Talk releases February 24th.
Oof, okay. Yeah. All right. So
by this month.
So when people see this, you know, it'll be out, which is good, because I want people to kind of reference certain things, but I want to talk about, because we talked about 2010, right? Your start, right? Your first project. This is project number 8, I believe.
Honestly, there's like projects that came out, projects that never came out.
Okay.
So like
officially on
DSPs, I think this is number 8 or.
I think it's number 8.
Yeah. We have to do a count on that.
But my thing is, you have a catalog. So what are the things that you're learning about yourself, you know, as an artist, you know, from day one to now? Like, because I feel like the 100 years later in this one, I feel like you're catching your stride. And that's no disrespect to the earlier projects at all, but I just feel like it's something different about the energy. And I've known you for some time.
The single.
Yeah.
Like, keep going. Like, I feel like that's always been my theme. I've always been like a perfectionist with my music too, because it is so personal for me. So I always hear my shit and I'm like, put it out, and I'm hype on it, and then I know I can do better.
Got it.
You know?
Got it.
And that's why there always is progression. That's why there always is like better beats, better raps. I might switch the flow up. I might try something new. Like, I'm starting to use auto-tune and do some singing on my shit too now. Like,
was that something you were totally against before?
There was a time where I thought that was the craziest shit, you know, like rappers singing on auto-tune.
Crazy in a bad way?
Just like, I come from like I'm an MF
MC.
Doom fan and I'm an MC. You know what I'm saying? I'm a battle rapper.
Yeah.
I'm a freestyle cypher rapper. I'm somebody that when I get in the studio with other people, I'm really like about the bars. It's a competition with the bars. So
to go from that
to being like playing around with melodies and stuff and like getting comfortable being an artist, you know, that's when I seen the utility of it and being like, oh, I actually do have a nice voice. I do have really good ideas for this song. I'm not about to wait for somebody to come in and sing this or send it back to me. Because you know that's always a thing. Right. People being like, yeah, I'm down to work. I'm down to do this. I'm down to do that. I'm like, all right, can you get on this? Can you? And it's like, you know, I got the vision. If you don't see it, like I'm finna do it.
So stepping outside the box, being uncomfortable allowed you to kind of realize how innovative you could be.
Right. And getting more comfortable with my recording process too. Like I record myself now.
So that wasn't always the case from jump?
It was, but then I stepped away from it for a little while. So like, I don't know, from 2000 and maybe 14 all the way to 2018.
Damn.
I wasn't recording myself.
What was that break? What was the break?
So in my mind, I thought I need to just focus on rapping and not and get somebody who's like their job.
That's
is to
their
be
thing
an engineer.
to do. Yeah.
And so that was working for me for a long time, but I think now the type of like flow I'm in with the writing and recording, like I need to be able to do it myself, you know.
And I don't think that hurts to kind of have that under your belt as well, like to really like increase that. You know what I'm saying?
I reached a new level of like vulnerability in the studio too, because a lot of times it's just me.
Yeah.
So I can be comfortable like trying stuff and like editing it in real time to where I'm not sitting there like waiting for the engineer to hit it again or like hearing myself back and not liking it. I'm just like I'm still moving, like, you know.
Yeah. Talk about you being an MC, right? You talked about being a rapper's rapper, being a rappity rap ass nigga, right?
Yeah.
But then understanding and learning that you can become an artist, like that transition.
You can become an artist. You can become a businessman. You can become.
But the thing is, a lot of people get held back with the mentality of wanting to be the best rapper, which is nothing wrong,
right.
But. Talk about you kind of breaking that cycle, breaking that mold, understanding like, yo, I can still do this and be this.
I had to realize like, what does being the best rapper even mean? And defining that for myself, you know what I'm saying? And like, to me, being the best rapper is being able to rap at any time. It's being able to say, hey, right after this, let's go get in the studio. Like, if we go to the studio right now, I'm leaving with a song.
I love that.
You feel me? Yeah. Like, if somebody puts a beat on, I'm dropping some bars. Yeah. If we go outside and there's 10 niggas on the corner rapping, I'm getting in there, you know? So, like, to me, being able to be the best rapper is to go on the Coachella stage and do that shit.
Bruh.
You feel me? And it's like, if I can go from rapping in Lamert to rapping at Coachella, who's can tell me I'm not the best rapper?
That's one thing that a lot of rappers I talk to, a lot of artists, that's on their bucket list. How does it feel to be able to kind of like check that off the list?
I never even went to Coachella.
You didn't?
No. So
I thought you didn't.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, explain, please.
So I told myself I will never attend Coachella until I perform at Coachella.
Okay.
And that's exactly what happened. Like, I never went to a Coachella before.
Got it. Okay, I'm like, I could have sworn I seen
the video.
I was like, unless you got some CGI, I'm like,
that was me.
I know Tupac had a hologram. I didn't know Hugh had one, but talk about that because a lot of people, that's a bucket list moment for them. So you said for yourself, I'm not going until I'm performing.
Right.
So you've never attended Coachella prior to you being on stage.
Exactly.
It's a hell of a moment, bro.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where I just realized, like, damn, I do have the power. Like, what I've set out to do in my life, like, I'm actually doing that shit, you know? And I just prayed so much. I was just, like, praying, like, on my way there, on the flight there. Like, it was crazy because I was already on tour at that time. So I literally left the tour bus, went to the airport, flew into Palm Springs, did Coachella, went back to the airport, flew back out, got back on tour, and then did it again the next weekend because it was 2 weekends.
So talk to me about the call when
finding out
this is gonna happen. Yeah.
So when I first saw the lineup or whatever, when like the bill goes up, I seen Isaiah's name on there, and I was like, damn. So he always does the song anytime he performs. I'm sure like he's gonna do it at Coachella.
Hey, low key, hold on before we get there. In your mind, you like, oh, nigga, this is that moment. Do you know you have it in the bag, or is it still kind of like?
No, because I'm not even gonna psych myself out about it, or I'm gonna just be like, it's probably. I'm like, yeah, it's probably gonna happen, but you know, anything can happen.
Are you doing that so you don't disappoint yourself?
I mean, that's a little bit of like the imposter syndrome thing, you know, being like, I'm not really about to just perform at Coachella from a song I did in 2016. Crazy. You know? And that's the thing about Keep Going.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I did that song with Zay. We recorded that shit in an apartment. Like, it wasn't even supposed to go on the album. The album was already turned in.
Wow.
We just did that on some homie having fun shit. He ended up sending it to Top. They fucked with it. They put J-Rock on it and put it on the album. And this all happened within like 7 or 8 days.
Damn.
You know? So, all that to say, if I wasn't still on my shit, then there is no, hey, come get on this real quick.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because that moment of getting on the song could have been my moment where I'm just like, all right, I did something cool with my music shit. Like, I'm popping in my area.
Right.
I got
Kicking
girls.
up,
I got this, and I can just be chilling. But it's like, no, I'm consistently putting out work. I'm touring. I'm getting my own shit cracking, so that when opportunities like that come along, it makes sense to have me up there.
Right. Damn, man. So you get the call. What are your thoughts in that moment? Like, cause you're a pretty chill person, right?
Yeah.
Do you lose your shit, or is it like, oh,
I'm freaking out, bro? It's literally like, damn, like I said, I was praying.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like, thank you.
Yeah. Good looking.
Yeah. And also, like, I gotta stop being so meticulous about my planning, because God's planning for me is way bigger than anything I could, like, come up with, you know?
So your plan, you would have been on Coachella prior to that, or?
My plan is I was supposed to get signed when I was 12 years old, and we supposed to be like 10 or 12 albums deep, and I've been retired when I was 25.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? That was my plan.
The Wayne story, you know what I'm saying? Retired at 30.
Yeah,
that's it.
you know
I'm
what I'm
done.
saying? Like, because like I said, I've been making music.
Yeah.
So my plan was that. You feel me? So, yeah, it's like, I think I've learned like from being a resilient artist and like keep pressing on, that it's like keep working on the like craft of everything and like let the plans reveal themselves and just be ready for them when they happen.
Is that a personality trait? Is that something that you learned from family, or is that something that's innate in you, or is that something you developed as an artist?
My mom always told me, stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like that's something I always saw from her and my dad and my brothers. Just like, it's definitely like a real family like theme. Is like, you know, if you're always training, when the fight happens, you know, you're gonna be ready to throw it.
Is it? Are you the only one in your family that does music?
No, my oldest brother Hamilton, he makes beats. My brother Harrison, he sings. You know, like I think we all were just like tinkerers when we were younger and just like interested in music, and I was like in band and stuff at school, and like we sang in choir when we were kids. And
the family is supportive of it, like from jump, or like when you tell your mom or your dad, like, yo, I'm gonna rap, or hey, I'm gonna perform.
I was really good at football.
Oh damn!
And so when I quit playing football when I was in high school and being like, yo, you know, I'm not gonna do this anymore. It was like, you can't quit playing football and not tell your parents before you do it, you know?
Damn. So did they just want a heads up? That's what it was? Or they just didn't want you to do that shit at all?
It was a lot of different things. It was like, you can't just be making your own decisions. Yeah. You're not grown. Yeah. How are you going to just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it wasn't a part of like the life path plan or whatever. But I was like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, you can't tell me what or not. And, you know, actually, shout out to Nas, because when I was like 15, he was doing, 15 or 16, he was doing the Hip Hop is Dead tour.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And my uncle got tickets for me and my mom to go see the tour, because this is like right after I like dropped the bomb on my family.
Damn.
That like I'm gonna be a rapper.
I'm gonna be a rapper, Mom.
And she heard my music before this. This is why she was so against it, because she was like, "You're trash."
Damn.
You know?
Yo.
I don't think she thought I was trash, but I think it was more like she didn't see the like viability of my type of music. Because
now that's the difference.
You know?
So she didn't think you were trash. She just didn't think that, like...
She's listening to, like, Nelly and stuff on the radio.
Like, there's
she's
no
like,
way you're going to be on the radio every single day.
Making this type of rap shit.
Yeah.
You know? So we went to a Nas concert at the House of Blues when it was on Sunset. And we seen that show. And after that show, she was like, "Oh, I understand, like...
There's a lane.
What you do." Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty dope. To be honest.
Yeah. But it still was a struggle, because it was like, all right, you can do this, but like, how are you going to do it?
But I mean, that's just one other way that you can convince her. Like, it's one thing for your parents or whoever to not understand hip hop, but to be able to say, okay, I'm going to attend a show. Because some parents are just, nah, I ain't listening to that hip hop shit.
Right.
I ain't doing that. But the fact that she was open enough to even go check it out.
My parents love music though, so it's like,
but still,
they got music.
But that's what I'm saying. That's an advantage that you have
for sure.
For them being able to understand that.
For sure.
Because my parents, they wasn't fucking with hip hop like that.
Yeah.
My mom loved Snoop. That was the one thing that she was like, I like his voice.
Yeah.
I like how smooth he sounds, but everything else is just noise to them.
Right.
So the fact that they were open enough to be able to go to a Nas show and then be able to see that, oh, this is something that you like to do, and just have that common, that thread of saying, okay, I get it now. Like, but that's an amazing moment. So from that moment, you say, they're still not gung-ho about it, but they're just like, okay, I see there could be a lane for what you want to do. Do you ask them money for equipment or anything of that nature? Like, are they supportive in that sense, or is it just like, hey, look, I don't know how to do it.
I was blessed to have a friend that made beats, and he had equipment, so I was recording at his house. But the whole thing with them was like, you got to go to college.
Ooh.
So I applied to one school.
Which one?
Loyola, New Orleans.
Okay.
I got in. They had a music business program there.
Why there?
I couldn't get in nowhere else.
Oh, shit.
Because my grades was not good. You know?
God damn.
My grades was trash because I was just not.
And not because you weren't you weren't.
I wasn't interested in that.
You
know what I'm saying? And I was like.
I think a lot of people resonate with that.
I was hanging out on Fairfax. I was going to see all the cool shit that I was interested in.
Wasn't in class.
It wasn't at my school. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I got into school. I moved to New Orleans, and then I ended up dropping out after my first semester. But while I was there, I got popping. I started doing battles.
Out in New Orleans.
Out in New Orleans. I started
there.
doing battles. I lost one battle.
Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, I do.
Have you seen him since?
We're friends.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we're friends. We weren't cool at the time when he beat me.
Of course not.
But we're friends now. But one of my schoolmates was G-Eazy. So some of my first shows when I was in college was doing shows with G-Eazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So
I never knew G-Eazy went to school in New Orleans.
Yeah, we went to school together.
Wow.
So yeah, that was like my first doing like clubs and like, cause we was packing shit out there. Like we was having sold out shows. There was like a couple of other dope artists in New Orleans that was going to our school at the time. So we were just like having shows out there, going up. And then I dropped out of school, moved back to LA, and I had friends that were like still out here, after graduating. Like some went to SC, some went to LMU, some were just like hanging out, So then I just got back into like the mix of like the scene of what's going on in LA.
Damn, that's super interesting to be able to go away, build a buzz, come back
in a short
period of time,
yeah.
but still kind of not miss a beat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Still make things happen. Real quick, you were talking about Isaiah. How did you guys link up? You know, he's from Chattanooga,
he's
right?
From Chattanooga, yeah.
So was there a connection from you going to school?
Nah, I didn't meet Zay until 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Or the end of 2015, beginning of 2016.
Okay.
Is when we met, and we met in such a crazy way. Through my engineer DJ friend that I went to high school with, Rory Bear.
Wow.
Zay was looking for an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Rory got introduced to his manager through like another mutual friend. Simultaneously, I was going through a record deal situation with Rory that ended up not panning out.
Mm-hmm.
And at that same moment, Rory and Zay and them all started working together, and we were all working in the same studio following the ending of my situation
yeah.
and him and Rory
starting of theirs
in the beginning of theirs.
Got it.
And so that's just how we became friends. Just like we're both in this studio,
right?
And then it was like one of those things. And I'm not a very like, hey man, how you
Let's
doing?
work.
Type of person.
Yeah.
So it just was like, all right, we're here, see you, not really saying what's up, kind of smoking together.
Yeah.
All right, next week. All right,
Same
hey, what's
thing.
up, man?
Right.
All right. Then the next week, I'm like playing my shit. Oh, this your
You?
shit?
Yeah.
All right, this is dope. All right, now we're having like, so it's like, all right, I've been seeing you every day for like a month now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're friends.
I guess we've been in here, recording separately for some time. I guess we cool now and shit. So that started the friendship there. And I mean, that's just amazing because he went on signing with TDE and, having the career that he had, but then double backing. And again, by chance, you getting on the song and, things working out in that nature.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean.
Yeah, it's nuts. The first time we performed that song was at like one of those Red Bull shows at like the Echo.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because I think the album was out for like a month or two at this time. And this was the first time we performed it. And like the whole crowd knew every word and they were like screaming it at the top of their lungs. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, this is like the beginning of something, Mm-hmm. And then from there it's like I still be coming out and doing that song and it goes crazy.
It goes wild, man.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about the deal and I don't know if this is a separate deal that you've talked about on the album, right? I heard you mention something.
I mentioned it. No, I be mentioning it.
No, I heard you mention it on one of my favorite songs on 100 Years Later, the program, right?
Yeah.
The program. I love that song. It's my workout song, right? But this one, I felt like you went in more detail.
Yeah.
Talking about 2.1 million for 6 years. Like, is this the deal that you're speaking about that didn't work out, or is this something else?
Yeah, that's the same deal.
So walk us through that situation. What happens? Obviously, the deal didn't go through. Or was it something that you were like, nah, I'm cool on this shit? And talk about walking away from 2 million. I mean, this is at the time where I'm sure shit ain't sweet for you.
2015.
2015.
Not sweet.
Right?
Yeah, I was working. I was working for this pizza company at the time, like making pizzas at parties and like food festivals and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna like say names and stuff. And this is like an independent company too.
Got it.
So my friend Rory Bear calls me up one day, and this is like, I hadn't heard from him in a little while. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm in Santa Monica at this, like, low-key, at this mansion house, studio house. Like, come through and make some music with me. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to come through. So I, like, get an Uber over there, and I walk into this big-ass crib. And he's like, yeah, bro, come in the studio. There's, like, a studio room with, like, all the equipment that you would, like, want in your studio at the crib. Like, it's in here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is my boy. We've been friends since 9th grade. So I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I know this ain't you.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on over here? There's like all this tree. There's like bongs and shit. I'm just like, what's up? What's up? And he's like, yeah, man, my friend from school, started a record label, and like I'm a producer signed to the label, and like let's make some music and let's see if like they'll want to put it out. So I'm like, all right, bet. So we start recording. I'm like end up coming over every day. We're like making music because like I said, if I go to the studio,
you're getting something.
Yeah. So after like a week, his boy who like is putting everything together is like starts popping in on us, listening to what we're making, and he's like, oh, this shit is dope as fuck. He's like, let's go out tonight. So we go out to the bungalow in Santa Monica.
Okay.
He starts ordering bottles of Dom P. So I'm like, oh shit, like, what's going on?
Right.
The next day we go to the studio and I make a song about the night we had at the bungalow. So when he came in and heard us making the song, he was like mind blown. He's like, what the fuck? Like, this is what we did last night and you just made a song about it? He's like, this is what you can do? And he's like, we got to talk. Like, we got to do something, you know? So I'm like, all right, let's do something. The next week, he invites me out to Malibu to Gladstone's. We get lunch.
Buttering you up. Let's go.
We get lunch. He's like, yeah, bro, like, let's do a deal, whatever you need. Like, we can make it happen. We got money. We got so-and-so. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, and I'm like somebody who really knows what they want from like a situation. So I tell them what I want.
Now, where did that come from? How do you know at that time? Because again, you're working at a pizza shop, right? You've been making music for some time at this moment, right? How do you know what your situation is, or what do you want it to be?
At this time, like I had been around the business for quite a while. Like I said, I was going to school for music business.
Got it. Okay.
So even though I dropped out, like I was there to get the gems. I had the books.
Got it. Okay.
And also I had friends that were getting deals, and I was like hearing about or seeing about what they were doing. I had homies that were working at labels. On the marketing side, on the management side, because I was born and raised in LA, so it's like I know people in the industry. I've heard all the stories. I've knew about Prince. I knew about, you know what I'm saying. My dad taught me about Prince and Ice Cube.
Damn, that's fire.
You feel me?
That's
so
fire.
I knew like.
Sidebar: did he teach you that when
I told him like when I told him about
fire.
like I wanted to get into music, he's like, well, you know people are putting their own shit out now. Like you know about. Kiss, you know about Ice Cube, you know
that's
about Prince.
Fire. Shouts out to Pops for dropping those jewels.
So he taught me young, like I need to own my shit, you know. So when I got offered this situation, I'm like, yeah, I want to own my masters. I want to own my.
They were like, conversation's over.
There was like for show.
Really?
So I'm like, okay, bet y'all want to just get percentages on this, and this, and we could. You get like we could do it like a
partnership.
A partnership,
yeah. Like
a loan, like a real, real contract that any sane person would sign.
Yeah.
All right, like we could do that, you know. So now I'm locked in with them. They're giving me jewelry. I'm getting the label logo. I'm getting rapper kitted out.
Okay.
AP, Rolex, jackets, shopping sprees. Fly me to Miami. I'm going to live. I got a table next to DJ Khaled and P. Diddy on Khaled's birthday. I'm staying at the Fountain Blue.
It's up.
Dinners, you feel me? Ocean Prime, like the whole shit. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, we about to do this deal. Yeah. Like they're legit. They got the money. Obviously, they keep flashing it on me. Like I'm about to get everything I want out of rapping. Like all the hard work I've been putting in, all the heartbreak, all the no's. This is that one yes. And then come to find out, when the papers actually came, signing day, after all the butter up and after all the star treatment, the paperwork didn't reflect all of the negotiating back and forth with my lawyers, their lawyers, all the drafts that we had done, because we were doing this thing for like 8 weeks or something. Like, you know, we were going back and forth. I had a lawyer, everything, you know? And they gave me they handed me like a standard contract. 360 contract. And just like how LaRussell said, he got the papers and it didn't have no numbers in it. It was just like that. But before that moment, they gave me the paper. They gave me the papers with the numbers in it. Oh. And that was the $350 an album, 5 albums, one option. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going into it with that mentality. That's the numbers. You feel me? But then what I realized is when I got my papers and it didn't have those numbers in there anymore, that like those numbers was real or they wasn't real, but that's what they were going to use to get me locked in on that, you know? Oh. And it was like that money was there. Yeah. But it was like, am I going to unlock it by signing and then I'm going to get the, you know what I'm saying?
Got it. So the deal was on the table, the money was there, but the things that you wanted for it weren't.
Exactly.
So it would have been the 2.1 for the 6 years, right?
Right.
But
that was supposed to be in the joint venture.
Got you.
Not the 360.
Got you. Damn.
Exactly.
So when you see that, obviously you present it to them, this isn't what I want. What's their response to that?
Hey, look, this is what we want to do. We've gone back and forth with our lawyers on this. This is what we're comfortable with. And you can take it or leave it.
How hard was it for you at that moment to leave it? Was it an easy, man, fuck you? Or was it like, let me think about this. Let me talk about this. Because again, for context, pizza shop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit ain't sweet. They've buttered you up. They show you what life could be. Was it a hard decision to kind of walk away from that? Or was for you at that moment the integrity of them kind of doing that?
I just came from like 8 weeks, damn near 3 months, going on 3 months of like working with these people. Yeah. You know, coming off of Massimo Ciabatta album. So I already had momentum going into this thing, right? So it was like, damn, like, I could have put all this energy that I've been spending with y'all into something else, you know? And then to see it come out like that. And, like, at this time, I had got my other homie a job with the company on a salary. Wow. Like, we were building infrastructure over there. We found a studio. We were designing a studio with them. Like, we were already doing stuff in that 3 months. So it was kind of hard
to just walk away.
Because it was already stuff that we was setting up. Because like I said, this was the dream deal. Yeah. So yeah, it was really difficult. And it was one of those things though, where when I walked away and I said no, I never heard from these people again.
Get out of here.
And that's what really showed me like I did the right thing. Because at the end of the day, they weren't there for my best interest or for us to grow like as partners. Yeah. They just were trying to like get me into a situation where they could just benefit.
They wanted the sauce.
Yeah.
They wanted the sauce, man. They seen you working that. They see you make a song. The next day they go, oh, we got it right here. This is it.
Right.
Damn. So how did that affect your relationship with your boy?
Well, you know, the thing was, when they gave me the paper, he wasn't a part of it anymore.
Oh.
And that was a big reason why I left the situation too. Is because they were like...
They X'd him out?
They X'd him out.
Oh, damn.
Because he was supposed to get... he was supposed to get a piece of it.
Wow.
As the guy that brought me in to the company. Like, he was supposed to get an A&R fee type of thing.
So, on that paperwork, you see that's one of the things that you noticed as well, that he was taken out, or was that something that you noticed before?
That was something that we had a conversation about.
Really?
Yeah. Like, they came to me and they were like, yo, he's not with the company anymore, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, it was like it was crazy. There's so many more details that I'm not putting in, you know?
I got you. But did it affect you and his relationship at all, or was it just kind of like...
No, I was like, I'm rocking with my boy.
Of course, God.
You know?
Damn, man.
Yeah.
No, because you see these situations and, you know, everybody's different. Everybody reacts different. Everybody's circumstance and situation is different. So, somebody... And people have done it in the past, they would bite. It would take that. And now the person that brought you in is no longer there, and now you're set up in a better situation. You're still in a fuck situation, but
it's better.
It's a better situation.
Yeah.
That ruins a lot of friendships.
You know, that's something that I have had to learn too, like as a businessman, is you gotta have integrity. And you got to stand on something in business but you have to also be comfortable accepting what you get or don't get from standing on those principles. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yeah.
Like, if you're going to do things out of integrity, you can't be mad if you're not getting opportunities from, you know what I'm saying?
It might not go your way.
Yeah,
and
it
especially
might not go your
because
way.
you want it your way.
Yeah,
you have to exactly stand on that, and it's very important that you don't complain about it, you don't whine about it, you just move on to the next. You know what I mean? And ultimately, I'm glad that you learned that was the best thing that could have happened to you.
Oh,
you know
100%. And that allowed me the freedom to even work with Isaiah. Or like,
could you imagine, bro?
We ended up meeting right after that.
Could you imagine?
You know? Yeah. So it was just like a lot of things where, once again, God was like, it was really like the good and evil, you know? And it was like, I was getting
Let's just
tempted.
see what you gonna do.
And it was like, you made the right choice, so I'm gonna throw you one, you know?
That's wild. Now I do want to pivot to you not only being an amazing artist and MC, but also a businessman as well, man. That mogul talk. When did the Hugh's Bowls, man? You a chef-ish. Chef-ish.
Chef-ish. I don't like to call myself a chef because I don't like self-proclamations and stuff, and I know there's people that like live and breathe and die like culinary arts and all that stuff. And
it's the reason why I don't call myself a DJ.
And I highly respect that, you know. So publications and stuff have called me a chef.
LA Times,
Shouts Bon Appetit,
look,
Munchies, like, you know.
Do you tell them? Wait, hold on. What if they say, look, we want to put this article out? We have to call you a chef. We got to call you something.
That's what the people. I'm saying I don't say it. The people can say what they want,
but you're not gonna say it.
You feel me?
Got it. Okay.
Like the people can say I'm the.
LA Times can say it.
LA Times can say
Bon
it.
Appetit, say it.
They said it.
Go ahead.
If I said it, it was because I was repeating this.
Got you. Okay. Hugh's Hot Bowls, man. Talk to us about that. When did this idea start? And obviously, it's been taken off. Again, we talked about LA Times featuring you. Bon Appetit. Like, talk about the start and where we are today with it.
So Hugh's Hot Bowls happened during the pandemic. I was supposed to go on the tour that I went on in 2022 and 2020.
Okay.
But the pandemic shut it down. And I was just at home like, what the hell am I going to do? Because my whole year was planned around going on that tour. And my mom was like, you need to start selling some of that food you've been making.
So you were already cooking prior
I already
to this.
cooked vegan food for myself type shit, you know, because I've been vegan now for going on 4 years. So I just been cooking for myself, trying to like recreate stuff I've been getting at restaurants, seeing if I can make it better, just figuring out what I like, and I like to cook.
Yeah.
So after doing that, I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. I put out my first like menu or whatever, and that was like I think the first like week of the pandemic because I like jumped on this shit right away. And people started pulling up because it was hard to find good food in the area at that time with so many things shut down. There's all these new health regulations. People weren't trusting like takeout or to-go food, but they still had to work. So it was just like
it's a tricky time.
You know, it was such a tricky time, and people know me. And what I learned was that people are comfortable buying stuff from me. And so I think that just means that they trust either in my taste or, you know, like they're just comfortable spending their money with me.
Wow.
So yeah, week after week, people started showing up. I kept making something different every week. Something that I wanted to eat too.
So you doing the meal prep for yourself anyway.
I'm like,
people just pull up.
Like, what am I gonna eat this week? I think I want some orange cauliflower with fried rice.
Boom.
I'm making the flyer.
Hey, look, if y'all want some,
pull up. And then it's like 40 people pulling up to my house, you know? So the way I was doing this, I had made a phone number, and I got this text-free app on my phone. And I just want to flex on you real quick. Because, like, all these numbers...
scrolling down, like... That's like
people that text me for food.
That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 swipes, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
And these are fast ones.
This is crazy. So all of these people are tapping in.
All these people are tapping in, have bought food from me, buy food from me.
Oh, man.
Pull up to my pop-ups, you know?
That's crazy. Now, are you able to, and I don't know how this works, but are you able to integrate the music with that as well, or do you keep the two businesses separate?
I mean, it's me. Mm-hmm. You know, that's why Hugh Augustine is my rap name.
Got you.
Because it's all me. Like, the shit you hear in my music is really my life. Mm-hmm. Just like when you pull up, I'm really cooking the food.
Crazy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because all this stuff is a part of who I am as a person, as an artist, as a rapper, as a being, you know, as a human. Like,
which is why people feel comfortable buying from you.
Because they feel like they really know me type shit.
I mean, they do. They got your number.
The Cash App. That's Cash App goes on for months and months. And
so you built this clientele.
You know?
You built all of these, you know, people, or built the clientele for the guy. He's still scrolling people. Jeez, just going up. What did that teach you about yourself? What did that teach you about yourself? Because this is something completely different. You got to be consistent.
Different.
Say it again?
You got to be consistent. Like, if people, like, with doing music, I know people are always like, oh, you are doing something for somebody. But I do music for myself. Mm-hmm. And there's just, like, all these ways to share it now. And it's cool because it helps other people, too. Yeah. And they get to have fun listening to it. But really, I do that for me. Hugh's Hot Bowls is a service that I provide for other people. You know what I'm saying? And when you provide a service, people start to depend on that service. Like, I had single moms pulling up on me because they're working all day, picking up their kids from daycare, and they want their kid to eat something right now, but they want it to be a little healthier than McDonald's or than Subway or than Chipotle, you know? So it's like, when you're providing a service for people, they depend on that. And when they depend on that, you got to be consistent.
Damn, that's amazing that you were able to pick up off of that. And again, something that was a shot in the dark, right?
Yeah.
Turned into a whole different business for you.
Yeah.
And in turn, it's like, now that allows you to still, because what was the last job that you, was the pizza job the last job you had?
Job I had. That was 2015, before I dropped Massimo Ciabatta.
So the thing about that is that now that allows you that freedom to not have to worry about paying for.
I blew 80,000, no rap money. It's funny, I do without it.
God damn, dog.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this Hughes Hot Bowl shit is making me more money than the rap shit.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah. A lot of people would
like, it's beautiful.
So why do you have that approach versus being bitter about that? Because a lot of people, again, the music
why
is the passion.
Why would I be bitter about
I'm gonna tell
not
you
having to exploit my art? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of people, I'm not gonna say a lot, but I've seen in instances where people want that to be. It's an ego thing, really.
Can I tell you what the moment was for me? And it happened last year.
Word. What happened?
I was sitting at Coachella, backstage.
Say that one more time.
I was at Coachella backstage, and I was looking around at the rappers that was there. All the best rappers in the game are at this thing. And I'm at this thing. Yeah. And we're all rapping on the same stage with the same mic, same production. And guess what? They know my song just like they know your song. So why should I give a fuck about not having the biggest chain or not having the biggest deal or not leaving in the biggest car or not having the jet or any of that stuff when it's really about making music? And I've made music that has touched the culture. So why should I care if it's like I didn't get it when I thought I should get it, or I don't have it as big as I think I should have it? It's like, no, bro. You literally live a lifestyle where you work for yourself. You wake up to no alarm every day. You make music when you want to. You cook food. You got all these people that support you and that want to participate in your business. And like, I'm actually doing something good for the community, my neighborhood where I grew up in. I partner with community centers. I'm feeding old folks. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeding the unhoused community. I'm doing community work. Like, why should I give a fuck if I'm not getting Grammys or if I'm not, like, I'm actually helping real people. There's real people in LA that know me, that ate my food. Yeah.
No, I think that's important.
You know what I'm saying? No, like, a kid came up to me at a party and was like, bro, I've been listening to your shit since I was in high school. I work for the Dodgers. If you ever need tickets, I got you. I went to the Dodger game on my birthday for free. Shout out to my plug. Like, nigga, what do I need? What, like, nigga, I can go to the Dodger game for free.
Clearly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But I mean, I think that speaks to who you are as a person, right? As a grounded individual. As a grounded individual, right? You were tempted with a deal.
Yeah.
You were tempted with the shit that you wanted, turned it down, and I think because of that, God has been blessing you with all of these things. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you're getting what you want. You're making the art that you want. You don't have to compromise it. Right. No deal. Do you want a deal at this point? Is that something that's even...
I want a partnership.
Got it.
I want a team, you know? When I say I'm independent,
really mean
that really means I'm DIY.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That really means, like, Mogul Talk, Hugh, Augustine, and Walt, like, we was making that music.
Right.
Me and him in the room, he mixed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only other person that touched the music was Chris Beach. He added some pianos. The couple features we got on there, and bro, that mastered it, Daddy Kev. You know what I'm saying?
I do want to talk about it because obviously that's the pinpoint for a lot of people that they're going to be going back and checking it out, right? You and Walt, how did you guys link up? We were talking off air about it for a quick second, but I want you to kind of tell that story because...
Yeah, we originally met in the studio. I was renting a studio in Hollywood, and like I was telling you off air, I was looking for like the local black producers from the district who's like making heat. Yeah. And so 6'7" actually told me, yo, I gotta hit up Walt.
Shout out to 6'7".
So I got with Walt, he came to the studio, and that's how we made Arms Reach. And that was a single off 100 Years Later. Right. And then so when I was like done with that album, starting to like make shit, because I didn't really make a lot of music like during the pandemic. I know people were like going 24 hours in the studio.
Yeah, why for you was it a moment of like, was creativity not sparked or?
Bro, I was like, I don't want to die from going outside and being cooped up. Also, I think I might get some flack for saying this, but like artists were just so overworked during that period. Because I feel like labels was like, oh, we don't have to book shows. We don't have, like, you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, go fend for yourself.
Go get up in that studio 24/7. Oh, yeah, we can live stream from there. We can do all this stuff. Like, they just had artists just working, just trying to, like, stay, like, relevant during that time. I was sleeping. I was eating food. I was working on my business.
Feeding people.
I was feeding people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was working on other stuff during that time and just, like, mental and physical, spiritual growth. Got it. Yeah.
So, I mean, but you guys linked up, and...
We linked up once it got chill again. And I was like, I guess it's time, like, I should, like, start working on, like, some new music.
Is this your first time, like, collabing with a producer? Like,
the last collab project I did was with Albie Smooth. Word is Bond. And now he, like... You know, is known for producing a lot of shit for Greedo, Draco. Yeah. He does a lot of Ralphie shit now.
Damn.
Desto Dub. Like, you know, when you talk about, like, who's influential in the LA sound right now, you don't talk about Albie Smooth, like, then you're not listening to music. You know? Yeah. So that's the last collab project that I did.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So me and Walt linked up. I was just pulling up to his crib. We're, like, you know, doing 2 songs in a day.
You realize, okay, we got something.
Yeah, we're like, we got a synergy. It's coming too easy, like in an hour, you know? Like the beat and the rap.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it was just coming like that. So we were like, we got to do something with this. So we decided, all right, let's make a project. Then I went on tour. So while I was on tour last year, I was performing the songs and testing them out, mixing them into my set. And what I realized was some songs was really dope, but they weren't translating as much live. So we came back to the studio and Walt remixed a lot of the tracks.
Oh, shit.
So...
based off of what you were telling him, like, yo, this one's not hitting this way because of X, Y, and Z. And wow, being able to understand that in real time and be able to remix the records to make it, like, hit.
So Back in Focus, like...
Is that why it's 2 beats on there?
Those 2 beats aren't even the original beat.
Get the fuck out of here.
So we took the song, scrapped the original beat, and then put 2 beats on it.
That shit is fire. It's one of my favorite ones on the album.
Yeah, you feel me? Because it was a thing where Walt was like, well, this beat sounds dope and that beat sounds dope.
Why not put them
And I was like, let's put both of them on
not
there.
Not overthinking the process.
Yeah, like, let's have fun with it. Like, let's break the rules. Like, let's do our version of what LA sounds like. Yeah. And LA don't always sound like the same beat for 3 minutes. Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you gotta switch it up. You might hit a corner and you in a whole nother hood. Like switch that beat up. Yeah. You know? So there's 3 songs on there actually that we completely took the beat, changed the song, added a hook or whatever, and now it's Mogul talk. You feel me?
One of my other favorite ones on there, man. You got Shine right on there. Jesus.
Yeah. Business plan. So that's another song that we ripped the beat off and that's how Cheyenne even ended up on it, because originally that was just like a hard hitting song beat with it didn't have that hook.
Yeah.
And then Walt was like, "Hey man, just listen to this," and he played it for me, and I was like, "Oh shit, I have a hook for that." Then I sang the joint, and I was like, "No, we need somebody who can sing, who can sing."
And who better than Cheyenne Wright?
Yeah, and so Cheyenne Wright, she been on tour with Blast all year, so I was trying to get her in the studio for like 8 months. Jeez. And I just waited and waited and waited and
waited. That's one of the ones you wait for.
Yeah, and I was like, me and Walt were like, should we just put it out? And then it started coming to the end of the year, and they were like, let's just wait.
I'm glad you waited for that, because it sounds beautiful, man. And I
she went.
She
took whatever I wrote and like 10x. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm really trying. I don't think I can picture anybody else do that.
And it's really LA.
Yeah, facts.
Like she is one of our best vocalists out of the city right now. You know, and I was just so privileged and blessed to know her already, and her still be like, yeah, I'm down to pull up on you.
Damn, that's
because we all get our success at different times out here, you know, and it's like if you stick with it, it's bound to happen for you.
For sure.
But you don't always know who's gonna like keep it real when they get to that moment, you know. And like she's somebody that kept it real and was like, I still fuck with you. You're the homie. I like this, and I want to work with you. You know?
Salute to Shine, right. I do want to ask you about 2 more things before we get up out of here, man. You talked about your relationship with your parents. Your mom, she's a council member for the city of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Right? Listen.
Yeah. That happens.
So how to me that I think that's one of the interesting points of who you are.
It's so mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling, right? So has your journey as an artist, right? Because we know politics.
Right.
Has that got in the way of her at some point running? Because what I picture, this is in my mind, this is what I picture, right? I don't know if you remember that episode of Fresh Prince when Uncle Phil, he was trying to be a judge or something like that. And they pulled all the shit Will was doing. They were just trying to dig dirt, find shit that he was doing, and use that as dirt for his campaign.
Yeah.
Is that TV bullshit?
You know the thing I love the most about my mom is like she's a councilwoman, but she's not a career politician.
Love that.
She's like a civil servant. She's been working in the city government. She's like been working her way up. She didn't even you know what I mean? So she's not somebody who's just been like hopping from office to office trying to keep a job.
Gotcha.
She's really in there trying to help people.
I'm not worried about her.
I'm saying all that to say is like, we're real people from the city of Los Angeles, you know? And like anything I've done in my music has been a documentation of my real life here. So I don't think that there's anything that I could say or do or have done that would reflect on her in a negative way, because I'm also very deliberate about the message that I put out there, because like I said, I do live a real life out here, and I do have people that are still out here in the streets and whoop-de-whoop, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm living the life that's comfortable and safe for me, you know what I'm saying? And like that's a reflection in like the success that I've had, and like the blessings coming back to me is like I've been doing good shit out there, and now I'm getting good shit happening in my life. My mom's having good shit happen in her life. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
So, but it's just like, I can't be posting nothing too crazy. Or like, you know, keep some of my views and opinions to myself.
I was gonna say I'm sure those are the things that you kind of have to worry about in a sense.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that, I mean, just from my vantage point, there's integrity. And I love seeing that, because a lot of times you don't see that, and we all have this image of what or who politicians are, but the fact that you say she's not a career politician, she's somebody that has worked for the city or worked for the city, the government or whatnot, but really wants to make changes. You know what I'm saying? And 100%. I think that's very important. The last thing I want to touch on, it goes back from the previous project. I want you to break down the concept of the album, because I think that's another.
It's dense. How much time we got?
Just give me
the blurb.
Give me the Twitter version, because I think you'll be able to hit it in a way that makes sense. But 100 years later.
Okay, so 100 years later, the title comes from my family actually being in Los Angeles for 100 years, right? So when I realized that, because I was just looking for a title for my album, and I didn't really know what it was about. Then once I started listening to it and thinking about it, and then realizing the year it was, I was like, this album is more so like a collection of my feelings, thoughts, and reflections from being somebody who grew up here with that like type of roots and history. And the album cover is more of a reflection of what I see for the future of Los Angeles. So what I did for the album cover is I redesigned the Crenshaw Mall as my logo. And so I had to like hire this architect to do a rendering of the building to make it like look real and like legit, But that was all about like designing the future, because I was thinking and reflecting on the past and like where we've come from and like how that's made me who I am. But also like what am I leaving and offering to like my community, being somebody that has the responsibility to the community. And that's why it was like that design, because we've also been going over this whole debate with the mall about what it's going to become, who should own it, it being a landmark in the neighborhood. And so that was kind of like my little like gift and being like, this is my vision for the mall.
Dude, man, I feel like we can go on for a long time, and I want to stop it here, because I feel like, I know we're going to have more conversations to come.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I just wanted people to get familiar. You know what I'm saying? Hugh Augustine, you're an amazing person. You have amazing energy every time I see you out in the streets, every time I see you at an event. Just nothing but just positivity, bro. And the music speaks for itself, and I'm so glad that you got this out to the people.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm finally doing my Chuck Dizzle interview.
Man, bro.
Come on, man.
Mogul Talk out right now, man. Well, it's going to be out.
Keep growing the single. Yeah. Mogul Talk, the album. Let's get it.
Love it, man. Where can people find you? How can they, not only buy the album, everywhere?
Instagram, Hugh Augustine MC. You could text me 323-400-2003 on the hotline.
Build that database.
You want to order some food strictly, so don't text me nothing else on there.
So don't ask you about no album stuff.
You can ask me about music shit.
I'll tell you,
but it's the hotline.
It's the hotline for the food.
But that's my business line. So if you're gonna ask me about some music, book me on that.
Gotcha.
Because that's the money line.
There it is.
Yeah.
You, man, appreciate you coming on through as always. Just, man, keep on excelling, keep on progressing, and I look forward to the future, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right, Chuck Dizzle, live and direct.
Mogul Talk.
Mogul Talk. Go on and support that, man.